for Best Feature Film, You, Me, and Her, produced by and starring Selina Ringal and directed by Dan Levy-Daggerman.
I'm so grateful for this film festival. You guys are doing such important work. Thank you so much for acknowledging us. Thank you so much for acknowledging all the other Mexican Americans. We need to take up more space. We need to change the narrative.
The movie industry has been going through tough times. In 2024, writers went on strike. Streaming platforms have been challenging the business model and how movies are released. Theaters are under pressure to stay in business. Married filmmakers Selina Ringo and Dan Levy-Daggerman experienced success with their first two films, The Best People, which sold worldwide to 40 countries, and Single Mother by Choice, which sold to HBO Max. But the experience of having them on streaming platforms was just not the same as experiencing in theaters with audiences. Then they made a third film called You, Me, and Her.
We were at this club, and this woman who was very beautiful started hitting on me, which was something that hadn't really happened to me before. And I asked Dan, I said, what do you think? Like, is it okay if I kiss this woman? And he was like, oh my God, yeah. And I was like, oh,
Sweet.
They wanted to make the biggest impact possible and to experience it with audiences. It had won 15 awards. It had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. But with everything going on in the industry, it was a particularly tough time for an indie film to break through, and they needed to come up with a new approach.
And so then we were navigating some of these distribution deals. We didn't know what to do.
So no plans tonight, I'm assuming?
Oh, no, we have plans.
Yeah.
We had one deal, but we got cold feet. I had a panic attack that weekend, and I was like, we can't do it. Something better is gonna come.
Okay, bro, we're done, thank you.
Dan has always been very curious about what other people are doing and how people are growing and what people are trying to innovate. So he had already captured that John and his team were building something.
I didn't know exactly who John Fithian was. I just saw an amazing post he had posted on LinkedIn. And it was about how exhibitors and independent filmmakers are more aligned than we think in their goals. And how exhibition wants more diverse films in the marketplace, and that would increase viewership and more audiences coming back to theaters.
What Dan didn't realize was that John had just stepped down from being the president of the National Association of Theater Owners and basically represented every theater across the nation.
The National Association of Theater Owners represents movie theaters in the US and nationwide, about all 50 states and about 100 countries. And lobbying for them, working in Hollywood and in the press to advocate for movie theaters.
Representing motion picture theater operators is an act of passion and love. They're very passionate about bringing people together in a collective setting to experience emotions and feelings together.
So where would you call home? I don't think home is a place, it's a feeling.
And it turned out that he was launching a new platform called Attend that was going to connect independent filmmakers directly with theater owners.
What does distribution mean, right? What we are doing is connecting films with theaters. That part right now is very, very time-intensive, people-intensive, and expensive for no reason. We are taking that piece, and we think that we can take that piece and serve the whole industry. So he was like, I want to know what they're building, because I think that the future of film needs to be different. And we need to be partnered with people who can see the value in that future of film. Because the way it's currently working has a lot of cracks, and I feel like there's something better out there.
Dan reached out to me through LinkedIn, as all great business relationships start, and said, we've got a movie, and it's really good. And we see what you guys are building, and come see our movie.
So they were like, okay, cool. Let's have another conversation soon. We'd like to see your film, but we don't watch links. So you need to set it up in a movie theater. And so eventually we did find a theater in LA, and we set up a screening with them.
And we watched it, and it really surprised us how good it was. And we went back to building our platform. So Dan then respectfully and with the right amount of time followed up with an email. And if you read Selina's book,
which is called Be the Train. And it's the mindset you need to make your first feature.
Which I have read. There's a chapter about how to properly email people, what time sequences, what specific requests, proper emailing protocol. It's fantastic.
Okay, weirdo. Should I send the text?
And Dan followed the protocol outlined in Selina's book, waited the right number of time, sent me an email. So when are we getting together to talk about how we're gonna work together? Oh my God, these people were persistent.
Following up, they were just like, they were being very nice. They liked the film, they liked our energy, and we didn't exactly have a plan for where that lunch was gonna go.
How do you think this lunch is gonna go?
So Patrick and our other partner, Jackie, and I agreed to go to lunch with Dan and Selina. And I promise you, going into that lunch, we had no intention of deviating from our schedule.
I don't know, just don't make it weird.
I swear that Jackie, Patrick, and I were nowhere near getting ready to release movies yet.
Nor have we ever done that before.
Nor have we ever done that before. We're trying to build this system and learn how to do it.
We're looking for films between July of 25 and June of 26, carefully curated, gotta fit a certain model, blah, blah, blah.
And during the course of the lunch, these two told us their vision about how independent film has to be in theaters, has to have a chance to be seen, and not just in New York and LA.
And I was like, well, I think you guys should be the train and just start now. Because if you start, then you put it into motion. And if you're in motion, then the investors are gonna come.
Plus, if this is happening, I'm gonna want that extra kick.
Okay, karate man.
And you should have an alpha phase before you even get to your beta phase. And we should take our movie and you make it happen theatrically. Can we do it?
He goes, well, Selina, I can really appreciate what you're saying. He's like, but if I'm gonna choose a movie for an alpha test, for this whole thing, we're talking to really famous, big filmmakers.
We have been raising money. We've been meeting with theater owners. We've been meeting with major filmmakers. We had a list of 93 major producers and film directors sign a public statement of support last October about the need for this type of marketplace.
But why would we choose you? Why would we choose this movie? And I was like, well, based on everything you guys have said, if you choose someone like, let's say, Scarlett Johansson and this works, then everyone will look back and go, well, yeah, they showed up because it was Scarlett Johansson. But if you choose someone like me, and I'm not famous, if people care about this, then that actually proves your point.
Oh.
And they were like, okay.
So we said, okay.
Okay.
Let's be business partners.
And they agreed in the room that we should be the alpha test film for the entire platform attend.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Being the alpha test for Attend changed the game for our movie completely. Our movie is screening across the nation on Valentine's Day, from Anchorage to Guam.
Through the Fithian Group and Attend, they plan to release in 200 theaters.
Press and a Q&A in DC, then fly back to Los Angeles. Oh my God, this is gonna get crazy.
Our strategy was to reach out to everyone in our community and beyond. We would reach out to influencers and brands. The idea wasn't to turn the movie into branded content. The idea was to amplify our voice with people who are already talking about the subjects that our movie was about.
You have comedy, you have heartfelt moments, you have those little taboos that sometimes couples are afraid to talk about.
What we wanted to do was create more than just a movie, an experience, and we thought what better way to do that than to go to brands that authentically integrate with what our movie is.
Through their partnership with Fithian Group and Attend, they were able to attract more investors to their marketing and distribution plan.
I really, really wanted to think about our audience and who they are and how we could make the best impact.
Selina also led the charge creating 250 influencer boxes. She sent over 1,000 emails, and we had over 20 brands partner with us. We partnered with the Tourism Board of Nayarit and 3 hotels where we shot the film in Mexico.
I also found a way to give away today in this streaming a trip to Mexico. Okay.
We created an online giveaway and gave away 3 trips as we went on tour across the country showcasing You, Me, and Her. We partnered with Boomo so parents could have discounted date nights.
Diaper-free dinner.
We created probably the most sex-positive campaigns Fandango's ever seen with buy 2, get 1 free tickets. Bring your third.
We should go out.
One of the things I think this movie really does is delve into the complexity of what it's like to be an authentic, honest relationship.
If this were to be our last conversation ever, what would you want me to never forget and why?
We even brought our own relationship to the screen, recording an intimate conversation for the And card games with their skin deep documentaries that we released the day before the movie came out in theaters.
I would want you to never forget what a life, what an incredible life.
Beautiful life. Yeah.
It's been so amazing.
I agree.
The movie launched on Valentine's Day 2025. It was our love letter to indie film.
It's ambitious, it was brave, and touching.
The best movie we've seen in theaters in a very long time.
We opened against Captain America. We thought counter-programming might play to our advantage, but we got completely lost in their massive marketing campaign.
Our billboard for our movie, You, Me, and Her.
And what's that?
That's the book that I wrote.
I think everyone needs to see this for the fact that it can show that, you know, people's lives are similar to this and it connects to them.
With the dominance of social media and the democratization of technology, filmmakers need to think more like entrepreneurs. One thing that Dan and Selina learned is that no one is going to care about their project as much as them. And that's okay. Filmmakers need to be the ones to bring their own projects out into the world. Though it's more work, it's the best and only way to ensure creative freedom, independence, and that your film fully reaches its audience.
This took thousands of emails, by the way. So don't think that this is like easy, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. Nothing's easy. You should do it anyway.